You have not been imagining it. That is the first thing I want you to hear before anything else. That quiet feeling that something has shifted, that the person sitting across from you is somehow further away than the distance between you suggests, that is not insecurity talking, that is perception. And there is a significant difference between the two. She has not left, not technically. She still comes home. She still goes through the motions of the life you built together, but something that used to be present in the space between you has gone quiet. Her eyes used to find yours without being directed there. Her body used to move toward you without thinking about it. Now there is a performance where there used to be presence. And the most disorienting part is that nothing dramatic has happened to explain it. No explosion, no confession. Just a slow and steady withdrawal dressed up as ordinary tiredness. What I want to walk you through today are 5 signs that a woman has already emotionally left a relationship even while she is still physically in it. Because the truth is that the most significant departure a woman makes rarely begins with what she does. It begins with what she stops feeling. And by the time most men name what they have been sensing, it has already been happening for longer than they realize. This is Wisdom and Lace. I am Grace. This channel exists to give men honest, grounded perspective on the dynamics shaping their relationships and their lives. If you are new here, subscribe now and turn on notifications so none of this passes you by. The first sign is that her presence has become a performance. She is there, but she is not with you. The responses come on schedule. The pleasantries are in the right places. But the quality of her attention has changed in a way that is difficult to articulate and impossible to ignore once you have felt it. Her laugh arrives at the right moments, but it no longer carries the same weight. Her eyes meet yours, but they do not stay. She says she is fine with a consistency that has stopped meaning anything. What you are observing is a woman who has emotionally uncoupled from the relationship while maintaining the external structure of it. She has not announced anything. She has simply stopped being fully present in the space the two of you share. A woman who is genuinely connected to her partner does not have to manage her responses toward him. They arrive naturally. When they start requiring effort and management, when warmth becomes something she produces rather than something she feels, the connection it was built on has already shifted somewhere beneath the surface. You are not crazy for sensing it. You are paying attention. The second sign is that access to her inner world has been quietly revoked. Her conversations have contracted. The details she used to offer freely have been replaced by shorter, more careful versions of events. Her phone has become something she manages rather than something she simply uses. Notifications get handled quickly and privately. The screen orients away. The life she is living has developed compartments that you no longer have visibility into. If you have raised any of this, the response has probably been to reframe your observation as a problem with you. That you are paranoid, that you are controlling. That your concern itself is evidence of your insecurity rather than evidence of a pattern worth examining. That reframe is not accidental. As long as your attention stays on questioning your own perception, it stays away from observing her behavior. A man who trusts his instincts does not need to prove anything. He simply keeps watching. Because a person with nothing to conceal does not treat honest observation as an attack. Transparency is not something people protect themselves from when everything is straightforward. The third sign is in the texture of physical intimacy. The bed is the same. The proximity is the same. But something in the quality of contact has changed in a way that registers below the level of conscious thought. There are stretches of avoidance, moments where touch is sidestepped without explanation. And then there are other moments where the opposite is true, where the intensity seems calibrated rather than felt, like something being demonstrated rather than experienced. Neither version carries the ease that genuine intimacy produces. The body cannot fully sustain a dishonest position. A woman whose emotional investment is somewhere other than where she is physically will reveal that displacement through the quality of her touch even when she is not consciously aware of doing so. You are not being oversensitive for noticing a change in something as fundamental as how another person's body feels in relation to yours. You have a baseline established over the course of the relationship. When it shifts significantly without explanation, that shift is information. Trust it as such. The fourth sign is in arguments that seem to arrive from nowhere and resolve into nothing. She picks a fight over something so small that you find yourself replaying the conversation afterward, trying to locate the real cause. A text that took too long, a tone she interpreted in a particular way, something left undone that on any previous day would not have registered. And no matter how carefully you respond, no matter how clearly you explain yourself, the argument does not actually resolve. It just exhausts itself and goes quiet until the next one surfaces. What is happening beneath these arguments is not what is being argued about. Guilt is an uncomfortable thing to carry quietly. When a woman is living with the weight of something she has not disclosed, friction with her partner becomes a way of redistributing that weight. If she can position you as the one who is failing, who is not listening, who is always doing something inadequate, she can place the difficulty of the relationship onto your shoulders rather than facing what she is carrying on her own. You begin apologizing for things you did not do. Your reality starts to feel less stable than it should. That destabilization is not a side effect. It is a function. A man who stays grounded in his own perception and refuses to accept responsibility for manufactured grievances removes the mechanism entirely. The fifth sign is the one that arrives most quietly and lands the hardest. You have disappeared from the future she is building in her mind. There was a time when her conversations naturally included you in what was coming. Plans formed with both of you in them. Decisions involved your input because your presence in her future was assumed. That has changed. The language has shifted from we to I without any formal announcement. She talks about what she wants, where she is heading, who she is becoming, and your name is no longer in those sentences. When you surface in future conversations, it is with a vagueness that was never there before. This is not confusion on her part. A woman who is uncertain about a relationship still keeps her partner in the conversation about what comes next, even if tentatively. What you are observing is something more decided than uncertainty. She has already edited the version of the future she is moving toward. She is still in the present with you, but the future she is oriented toward no longer has you in it. And the most painful part of this particular sign is that she is rehearsing a life without you, while you are still in the room believing you are working toward something together. Here is what I want to leave you with. A woman does not only betray a relationship in the obvious ways. The most significant departure often happens entirely in silence, in the emotional withdrawal that precedes any physical reality, in the slow and deliberate removal of her inner world from the shared space the two of you built. By the time most men can name what they have been feeling, it has been true for longer than they want to admit. You are not wrong for sensing it. You were never wrong for sensing it. The question is not whether your instincts were accurate. The question is what you choose to do with the clarity now that you have it. And the answer to that question should always begin with protecting yourself. Not with rage, not with retaliation. With the quiet, dignified decision to stop investing in a direction that the evidence has already told you is not going to produce what you were working toward. Your peace matters. Your perception is valid. And you deserve a relationship where your presence is genuinely wanted, not merely tolerated while someone figures out their exit. I am Grace. This is Wisdom and Lace. If this reached something in you today, share it with a man who has been second-guessing himself for too long. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Tell me what you are navigating. I read every single one. I will see you in the next one.